Hello from Inline Warehouse. This video is to help you know when and how to choose replacement inline skate wheels. First, looking at the when, there's really only two instances where you want to change your wheels. First one being, of course, is wheel wear, and the second is either to reduce or increase your wheel size to get more performance, more speed, or to decrease speed. Looking back at the first one, wheel wear, all wheels are going to wear out. You'll know your wheels are getting time to replace when you see a heavy coning on the sides or just getting down close to the hubs of the wheel. We have a nice graphic here showing some worn out wheels. Doesn't matter what wheels you get, they are going to wear out. Hardnesses do come into play, which we'll get to later. Rotating your wheels, we have a video on as well, will also prolong the life of your wheels. But wheel wear, of course, is going to require you to eventually replace your wheels. Decreasing and increasing wheel size, again, to increase or decrease your speeds. There are some limitations of what you could do there, but those are your two basic times when you're going to replace your inline skate wheels. If either one of those or both have come into play, it then comes to how to choose wheels out of the many different sizes, hardnesses, how to know which ones are going to be for you. What we've done is list three main criteria for you to choose wheels. First one being the hub size. Second, the wheel size itself, which is measured in millimeters. And third, the hardness of the wheel. And we'll go over each one of those individually, but what we've done on the site, once you know those pretty well, is we've made a nice fancy wheel finder up on top of the wheel page where you can search by one, two, or all three criteria at one time, and you can really narrow down your search, and it makes choosing wheels a lot easier. That way it takes out all the wheels that would not work for you, and you're looking at only the ones you would want and that would work for your skates. For example, you could even search for 90mm wheels that come with bearings and look at nothing else, so it makes it nice and easy. So make sure you use that tool once you're familiar with all the stuff we're going to go over today. Back to the first criteria we mentioned was the hub size of the wheel. The hub size refers to the center part of the wheel where the bearings reside. There are two basic hub sizes. There's a micro hub and a standard hub. And this doesn't come into play for many of you out there. This really only affects those that have older model skates. More current models only use standard hub. Micro hub wheels and bearings are becoming more and more obsolete, so the selection is small, and we have these split up on the site for you to make it nice and easy. Just real quickly, so you know about them, micro hub wheels have a hole about the size of a dime. Standard hub wheels have a hole about the size of a quarter. Moving on to number two, which is the wheel size itself. Looking at our sample wheel, you see some numbers on the side of the wheel in print. You'll see on this wheel it's 90mm 84A. First set of numbers referring to the size of the wheel, second set referring to the hardness. If you're still able to read the print on your old wheels on that first set of numbers, then you can be 100% confident that getting the same size wheel is going to work for a replacement set to get on your skates. But if you cannot read them, there's a couple ways to easily find out what wheels will work on your skates. The easiest way is to look right on the skate frames. You'll see a print of your maximum wheel size right on the skate frame. It'll tell you how large a wheel you can put on those skates before they start hitting one another or hitting the bottom of your boots. Reducing wheel size is also a possibility for you if you wanted to lower your speeds, but keep in mind if you put too small a wheel on your skates, you're going to lower that brake pad down and it might engage when you're not wanting it to, which would be very unsafe. So you can go to a smaller wheel size, but be careful there. And then of course, if your skates allow a larger wheel size, don't be afraid to jump up a wheel size, because it'll make you get a little bit better speeds, a little bit more performance out of the skate, and it'll also go over some bumps and cracks a lot easier than a smaller wheel. And number three, our last criteria for choosing a wheel is the wheel hardness, which is shown again on our sample wheel. That first set of numbers was again 90mm wheel size. The second number says 84A, which is the hardness of the wheel measured in durometer. And to be a little bit more confusing, some brands use different words to describe that hardness. You'll see words instead of numbers sometimes, like firm or extra firm, but all are referring to the hardness of the wheel. And there's some benefits to a hard wheel, some benefits to a softer wheel. But the higher the number, the harder the wheel. Some reasons you'd want a nice hard wheel are the terrain that you're skating on. A harder wheel will be more durable, last longer, but you'll also feel a little bit more of the bumps, a little bit more chatter on the wheel. So if you have a nice smooth surface, getting a nice hard wheel is going to be fine. A lot of indoor track skaters use extremely hard wheel. Skating outdoors, I would recommend using nothing below an 82A hardness or higher. That way you get a nice long life out of your wheel. If you go below that, it's nice and grippy, which means you get good control. You'll find a lot of beginner or entry-level skates coming with 80A stock wheels. This allows for good grip and control. Those skating indoors and roller rinks, something that soft works really well as well. For larger skaters at 185, 190 pounds plus, skating an 82A hardness of a wheel is not going to work the same as someone that's 150 pounds. So it's great to compare wheels with friends, but keep in mind the different weights and sizes of people. One wheel will perform differently for one than another, just because it does vary how much pressure you're putting on those wheels, which has a lot to do with your size and weight. So again, key notes on the hardness of wheel. A harder wheel grips less, but will last longer and feel a bit more of the bumps. A softer wheel will be a little bit smoother riding as it absorbs the bumps, but as it grips the surface more, it'll wear down a little bit more quickly. There are higher end wheel companies out there that are trying to do everything they can to beat these stereotypical criteria that you can't have a soft wheel that's not durable. So you'll see higher priced wheels out there from Atom and Matter that do a great job of making a nice hard wheel that still grips well, but you'll also notice the prices of those wheels are a little bit higher as well as they work to do that. We've now gone over the basics of inline skate wheels. You now know when and have an idea of how to choose skate wheels to narrow down your search to make it easy for you. Make sure you use that fancy wheel finder. The guys put some time into that and it works wonders to get rid of all the stuff you don't need and narrow your search to just what would work for your skates. So thank you for watching right here at InlineWarehouse.com.